Hello and welcome to Geek-lish.
I didn't laugh until you paused too long.
Yeah, all right. Hello and welcome to Geek-lish. Fucking hell. What the hell? Oh my god.
You're traumatized.
I can't. No. Language of Geek Culture. Okay. I can't believe I forgot that. It's like the 11th fucking episode. I can't remember. I keep forgetting. All right. Hello and welcome to Geek Culture. What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
Oh, this is the worst one. Yeah.
You're having a meltdown.
Oh my god, I am having a meltdown.
It's like episode 1.
It really is. Oh, okay. Let me just center myself.
Okay.
All right. Hello and welcome to Geek-lish, the language of geek culture. I am your host, Tim Aguirre, and joining me is the incomparable Heidi Bourbeau. Heidi,
Hey,
save me, please.
Hey, everybody. That was a little bit of a rocky road there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast, everybody. To find more information about our podcast and listen to episodes online or download for your listening pleasure offline, you can find us at www.geek-lish.com. We're on Facebook at geek-lish or hyphen, whatever you want to say. Twitter at geek_lish. We're also on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Blueberry, and iHeartRadio. We also have some swag up on our virtual websites.
Woo! Swag!
Swag! Yeah. Redeem yourself, Tim.
I have to. Apparently, I didn't sound excited enough.
Yeah, he was
last
not
episode.
thrilled. We're on Amazon and Redbubble.
Yeah, and this is our 11th episode for those keeping track.
Also, after this episode, we're a special episode. It is all spoilers. It's on the new Marvel movie we just saw today. Literally, we just got back from the movies.
Yeah.
We just saw Endgame. So the next episode we're going to do is a special episode, and it's going to be a breakdown of our thoughts, our feelings, our tears. And I'm going to put spoilers all over it, so don't listen to it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, and that will not replace the official episode 12 that will be happening. This is just a special spoiler-full Marvel episode.
Yep. So
there will still be an episode 12.
Yes.
It's just an extra fun episode.
Yeah, sometimes we do a little extra stuff.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't know why. What is wrong with me today?
I don't know.
I think I'm traumatized.
Yeah, we're a little bit traumatized from the movie, so.
But yeah. Anyway, first, like always, I want to say hello to my little buddy Ollie.
Ollie.
I love you, buddy. Now it's time to go to Dreamland. Be good for your mama.
Smooth sounds.
You're awesome, and I love you. All right, good night.
It's not weird and everybody's here.
Yeah, just everybody, welcome to my personal life. Anyway,
So what's in the new? What's new or what's possibly new, Tim?
ooh, I don't know. Jesus, a lot of rumors going on. We got some rumors. Mostly new consoles. E3 is right around the corner. It's in a couple of months. So the new video game rumors are afly.
Yep.
So everybody's talking about new potential consoles. We're going to talk about some of those rumors today. One of which is the PlayStation 5. Apparently, lead PlayStation hardware architect Mark Cerny revealed a powerful new Ryzen-based... Well, he revealed that the new PlayStation 5 could be potentially... filled with a powerful new Ryzen-based processor, ray tracing support, 3D audio, an SSD, which is a solid-state drive, and support for PS4 and PSVR headset games. So backwards compatibility, which is a huge plus.
Yeah.
Considering when I think the PlayStation 3, I believe it was the 3, or it was the 4. It was the 4. No real backwards compatibility, which upset a lot of people.
Yeah, I think
especially with how much money the system cost. And,
Yeah.
And then, especially with the news that Xbox was going to be backwards compatible, it was like, oh no, PlayStation, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So backwards compatibility is always a plus. The Wall Street Journal's Takashi Mochizuki tweeted that the company said during an investor call that there won't be a new PlayStation within the next 12 months. So we're probably going to expect something around 2020. Mm-hmm. Now, the fact that they're not going to be at at E3 this year means that we're not going to get any information on this year officially from PlayStation, unless it's through their new State of Play series on YouTube that everybody hates apparently. Just a little bitter in my voice from that. But so we'll probably see something in 2020 because Sony's not going to be there this year, doesn't mean they're not going to be next year.
Right.
Because I feel like if you're going to unveil a system, E3 is the best place to do it.
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't know. But a website called Semi-Accurate said lots of development kits have gone out, which is a good sign because that and Kotaku's Jason Schreier's sources tell him that developers at both first and third party studios working on games for 2019 and beyond said they know little to nothing about PlayStation 5. So the details are far more limited than it would be if the console's release was imminent. So supposedly developments have gone out, which is pretty much what they sound like they are. They're practice systems that companies can develop for so they can get a feel of how the system is going to work so they can kind of know what they're working with. So if they're going to make any new games, how is it going to work with them or for them to make these games the way they want to make them?
Right.
So getting developer kits to companies, especially out now, is a good sign that it's in motion. It's on its way. So we'll see this. This suggests that the earliest we'd see is PlayStation 5 in 2020, which other sources have stated. So it's good. So like I said, Sony pulled out of E3 this year. So we're not going to get any new information. We'll wait till 2020 on that. So the specs, there's a lot of specs. That's the main thing that we've been hearing. In an interview with Wired, Sony's Mark Cerny revealed several key specs. And a lot of these, I'm not a big tech guy, but they sound pretty impressive to me. If you're a tech guy out there, talking to you, Robo-Lou, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
The console will be powered by a CPU based on AMD's third generation. I don't know what that means. Don't ask me, Heidi, because I see you with those eyes. An 8-core Ryzen processor, as well as a custom GPU based on the AMD Radeon Navi line. Again, I'm not a tech guy. I don't know what any of this means. If you know what it means, go onto our Facebook and please let us know.
Yeah.
Feel free to share your knowledge with us. The graphics card will allow the PS5 to deliver ray tracing, which is an ultra-realistic lighting technology that was first made popular by NVIDIA's RTX cards. So ultra-realistic lighting graphics, which is always a plus for video gaming.
Yep.
The system CPU will allow for 3D audio, which promises to be more immersive than that of the PS4, whether you're playing on headphones or through your TV speakers, which is good audio is just good audio. The better the audio, the more immersive the experiences, and the more immersive the experiences, the more likely you're willing to pay money for these games, in my opinion. The PS5's massive power will also allow for resolutions of up to 8K. For reference, the PS4 Pro maxes out at 4K. So that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
The fact that 4K, the PS4 Pro now is 4K, like I said, not a lot of TVs can play 4K. So that's another problem. If you're probably going to have to upgrade your TV, and that's another issue. And who's to say when 8K TVs will even be available?
Yeah.
I'm sure the first 8K TVs will come out of Sony because they're not stupid.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure they'll be like, well, how are we going to get people to play our games with our TVs? Duh. Get out of here, Jerry. You know what's going on. Sorry, Paul. I don't know why Jerry and Paul are there. Cerny also noted, going nuts. Cerny also noted that the system will feature a speedy SSD, solid state drive, for loading games faster. In a demonstration, which is a demonstration that I saw online, and it looked very impressive, Cerny showed off that the system's new SSD, a segment of Marvel's Spider-Man, that normally took 15 seconds to load, took under a second.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Additionally, Sony confirmed that the PS5 will support physical discs, which is a huge plus.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people like their physical copies.
Yep.
Now, fast load times are always awesome.
Yeah.
Are always good.
Yes.
But I don't know, I feel like they probably should have chosen a different game to do that with, because it's weird because the load times in Spider-Man were usually during fast travel where you take the subway and there's it's loading. That's your loading screen.
Right.
But it was always a funny little loading screen because there was always Spider-Man on the subway either checking his cell phone or talking to a fan.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to lose that experience.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose those little bits of character experience. You know what I mean? And with their demonstration, it was so fast. It was literally under a second. It was on the subway, boom, right off. And I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
It's great for just getting right into the game and doing it. And I mean, loading screens, eventually they're not going to have, because the loading is going to take less than a second, we won't have those screens that we're going to be missing out on anyway.
Right.
Because they just won't develop them. They won't put them in. And so the fact that there's a 15-second loading screen, it helps with having a little animation of Spider-Man checking his Facebook.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're probably just not going to need that anymore. I don't know. Just my opinion. But in the Wired interview, Sony confirmed that the PS5 will play PS4 games as well as support the current PlayStation VR headset, which they've said in another interview.
That's good.
So more confirmations means the more times they confirm that PS4 games will play on this thing, the better.
Yeah.
Because that means it's going to happen. And like I said, the last time they made a big powerful system, they completely forgot to put in backwards compatibility, and people hated it. People were very upset with it.
Yeah.
And it was, especially, like I said, especially because of how much money these systems cost.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't
the Xbox, the last one? Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Cost like $799 or some crazy amount of money.
No, $800? You out of your mind?
No, I thought that's what I saw it for.
No. The Xbox?
The Xbox One?
No. $800. Are you out of your mind? No way.
Don't look at me like I'm crazy.
Well, I am, because you are.
I am not.
There's no way that Xbox was... No. All right. You looked that up while I go on to the next story.
Okay.
Ironically enough, the new Xbox... which is $800. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's not that I know of. But so this is more Xbox rumors. Apparently, well, let's just get into it. At E3 2018, Microsoft referenced the next generation of Xbox. So this brought people's minds to Twitter with thoughts of a new system, and which are apparently expected to arrive as soon as 2020.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna have another big console war between PlayStation and Xbox.
Joy.
Yeah, so we get a lot of fanboys crying over which one's better. Who cares? Shut up. I always hate those people.
Didn't you and Lou talk about which one was better? Because you have PlayStation and he has Xbox.
Yeah, but I don't think we ever do it in like a serious capacity.
They're fanboys. Don't let him.
I don't care what people play. You're not even a real gamer, so shut up. You play Sims. It's not even a real game. Shut up.
I play Assassin's Creed.
Okay, it's not a real game, Heidi.
You bastard.
That is a real game. So is Sims. So
yeah.
Again, fuck that guy.
I know.
But anyway, so E3 2018, Microsoft confirmed that the next generation of Xbox, known as Xbox Scarlet, I don't know how I feel about that name, is in development. The next Xbox may come in two variations, a standard and a high-power console codenamed Anaconda. Ooh. And a cheaper cloud-based device that streams games from the internet currently known as Lockhart.
I don't know if I like that.
The names are interesting, but can we stop?
Yeah.
Can we? Can we
no
just do what Sony
thought.
does and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Can we just? It's so much easier to remember.
Well, and it's kind of like we're not. That's not like there's no more original thought.
What do you mean?
Like Anaconda, really?
Yeah. What makes that a power? Like when I think of Anaconda, a high power console. I guess Anacondas are strong, but why not? Why not call it Anaconda Grizzly?
Yeah.
Or Anaconda Sasquatch? I don't fucking know.
Well, they would just call it Sasquatch, not Anaconda Squatch.
Did I say Anaconda Sasquatch?
You did.
My bad.
But the point is it's just kind of a silly name.
Yeah, it's a silly name. And Lockhart, what does that even mean?
I don't know.
What does Scarlet mean? What does any of this mean? Just make a system that works. But the interesting thing to me is that they're thinking about developing a cloud-based device. Now, if we remember from an episode or 2 episodes ago, we talked about Microsoft's new, Google's new system that was cloud-based. So it seems like potentially that's the future.
It does. Remember I asked you if this would be like how people are going towards in the future?
And apparently Xbox is potentially going that route with Lockhart.
Or at least having that option.
Yeah, with Lockhart. That's the name of it. It's Lockhart. I don't know. Just Xbox 5. Can we just fucking do that?
Yeah.
So with Xbox 360, then it went to Xbox One. So already they're naming...
Then you had Xbox S, 1S, 1X.
1S was because it's the same thing with PlayStation 4 Pro. It's just... I don't agree with this either. It's just higher end, more powerful systems. Because it's still a PlayStation 4, but the PlayStation 4 I have doesn't run at 4K. This Pro runs at 4K. So it's, the graphics are better, it's faster running, but it's also more expensive.
Yeah.
So they give you the options for a more high-powered system. which is, again, what Xbox is doing with Anaconda and Lockhart.
Just so you know, the released in November 2017. A list price for Xbox was $499.
$499.
Yeah, not $700, but still, that's a lot of money.
$799. No, $499 was a lot. That was still a lot of money. But $899. I mean, $799. Whatever you said it was a lot of money.
I think it. You know where I saw it? I think I saw it after it came out, and they were on back order.
Oh,
I think
maybe
that's where I
people
saw
on
it.
eBay were
Yep,
probably
yep.
selling them for stupid people on eBay.
Greedy bastards.
Goddamn bastards. The new console will also likely have a big focus on streaming, as Microsoft unveiled its Project xCloud service in the late 2018, and it continues to double down on Game Pass. The next Xbox could be unveiled as soon as E3 2019. So potentially in a few months, we might see a new system
From Xbox.
unveiled, as they said, or announced is the word I wanted to use.
Okay.
But I couldn't think of it, so I just reread the word unveiled. A little peek behind the curtain of how I do things. But anyway, so the latest Scarlet news and rumors is that Microsoft has revealed that its Xbox E3 2019 press conference will kick off on June 9th at 1 p.m. Pittsburgh time. Not Pittsburgh time. Pacific time. Only Pittsburgh time. So 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, only in Pittsburgh. Everywhere else, 4. Because 4 p.m. ET, everywhere else time.
We're so damaged from Endgame. We're so
My
damaged.
mind is not even here today. And we could get a tease at the next Xbox in the big show. So let me, at June 9th, 1 p.m. Pacific time. 4 p.m. Eastern time. According to Seasoned Gaming's Ainsley Bowden, the next Xbox could have more powerful specs than the confirmed PS5 internals. So there's some ammo for the fanboys against the PlayStation fanboys. Oh boy, we're gonna have some serial battles. Stupid. So the next thing that they're talking about is potentially 2 new Xbox consoles next generation, which I don't really know. But that could just be referencing the standard and the high-powered console.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, why do they need 2
Yeah,
more?
why would they need 2? Yeah, the way they announced it was weird. But so Xbox head Phil Spencer said at E3, the same team that delivered unprecedented performance with Xbox One X is deep into architecting the next Xbox consoles, where we will once again deliver on our commitment to set the benchmark for console gaming. And so people on the internet have really nitpicked at what he said, and are saying that when he said consoles, he says plural. So that's where the rumors are coming from.
Oh.
I don't know. I think he's probably just referencing the standard and high-powered consoles. I don't think he's 2 completely new consoles. That would just be asinine. But I don't know about these guys. But that could mean that the next Xbox will have several releases in its lifespan, the way we've seen the Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox One X. But it could also mean that there will be multiple versions at launch with different capabilities and price points, much like we see with gaming PCs, i.e. The Anaconda, Scarlet, and Lockhart.
Every time you say Anaconda, I always think of that song, Anaconda Don't Want.
Jesus.
I can't get it out of my head. I'm sorry.
Xbox's Anaconda don't want none. Unless you got games, hun. And I'm done. Oh, that was ridiculous. Okay, according to some specs that leaked in January 2019 via Jukes Video, I think that's how it's spelled, or pronounced, I should say, the Xbox Lockhart model. I'm not liking these names at all.
I know, they're pretty ridiculous.
The Xbox Lockhart model, which is the cloud model, will run for $249 and pack an 8-core CPU, a 4 teraflop GPU, 12 gigabyte of RAM, and 1 terabyte SSD, and DirectX ray tracing support. Again, if you know what any of that means, message us on Facebook and let us know if you know, whatever.
If you know.
If not, this is just all very interesting sounding stuff. The higher end $499 Anaconda model
I want nothing.
will have a stronger 12 teraflop GPU and 16 gigabytes of RAM. So it's going to be a faster, almost quadrupled the amount of GPU and less than 4 more gigabytes of RAM, which is pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's exceptionally so. So hence the $499 price tag, which is a little expensive. But
Yeah, but I mean,
don't know.
it looks like that's pretty typical. I mean,
Yeah.
if you wait a month, you can get it for $200 less, which is usually what we try to do.
yeah, or you can get the $249 Lockhart cloud version, whatever.
I think Lou's at the point where he's starting to download from, the cloud.
Yeah, I think if that's the case, if you're a big downloader, I think probably the the cheaper cloud version might be better for you, the Lockhart.
Yeah.
But I think it really just depends on taste and how you like to play. You know what I mean?
It's hard because my Sims 3, I have all of the discs, and there's something of having that disc in your hand. It's like you have that power.
I like. Sometimes I like to have a physical copy.
Yeah, but then when I play Sims 4, I have the main game in a hard copy, but all the extras are downloaded from Epic. And I didn't like it at first, but it's kind of nice now because when I go in, it'll just update them.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about anything.
So
It just depends, I think.
it depends on your taste and just the kind of gamer you are.
Yeah.
Usually, like, if you're a professional streamer, those guys and gals, I should say, will usually go for the higher end because they stream better.
Yeah.
You get more out of it when you're streaming, and it's just crisper, and everything's the sound quality, and everything's just better. So people, they tend to spend that much money on it. But one thing that seems troubling is that the Microsoft hasn't confirmed any concrete details on the new consoles being backwards compatible.
Oh.
Dun dun dun. But they're saying Microsoft is still consistently building on its library of backwards compatible Xbox and Xbox 360 games that works on Xbox One, and often espouses a message of being able to take your games anywhere and its many press events. So they have a history of being backwards compatible. So the fact that they haven't announced it doesn't mean that they're not going to be.
Yeah.
But Sony has also been known for being backwards compatible, and then they weren't.
Yeah.
So don't count your chickens.
Yeah.
Don't just be like, well, they've always done this, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, don't take it for granted because you never know.
Take it for granted, yeah. Because they're going to need room for all that, those extra gigabytes of RAM and those extra, SSDs and those DirectXs and all that shit. They're going to need room for it, and apparently that's why the PlayStation Slim is not backwards compatible, because it's just not enough hardware space to have those kinds of components. So, I mean, unless, I don't know how big this Xbox is going to be. If it's a huge system, should be fine. If it's a smaller, sleeker system, they might not have the room for it. So we'll see. But Spencer and other Microsoft executives have spoken to the importance of playing any games anywhere. So they're really emphasizing on this fact. He said, our focus on bringing console quality games that you see on TV or PC to any device. I want to see the creators that I have relationships with reach all 2 billion people who play games. So they're really emphasizing on the fact of being able to play and stream and do that anywhere. Yeah. So in late 2018, Microsoft announced Project xCloud, a platform designed to let you play Xbox quality games from the cloud on anything from a smartphone to a laptop. Microsoft didn't mention whether Project xCloud will be integrated with the next set of Xbox machines, but it seems the next logical step for the company. Which, from what it sounds like from the Lockhart model, that's what it seems like they're going with.
Yeah.
They're going with that thing. Again, something that we've seen, we talked about a couple episodes ago with Google's system. It seems like that's where games are going. That's the future pedestal where they're going.
And when one company announces something and people get excited about it, competitors have to come out and they have to do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or find a way to do it.
Yeah, they'll find a way to do it. And the same thing what happened with Nintendo when they came out with their Wii and their motion controls. PlayStation, Xbox followed suit.
Yep.
Even though it wasn't as well received on those systems.
Right.
But they still did it.
I kind of think that just made people more comfortable with buying the systems they were already comfortable with.
Right.
Because it's got this thing Wii does, so it does. I don't need to worry about getting Wii.
Precisely. Yeah. And it's like,
but it didn't really do. I mean, trying to line it up and do it was not the same thing.
No. Yeah. There were hiccups, and like the Xbox Move was notoriously bad, and sometimes because it was just there were no controls, you were the controller.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, your motions wouldn't pick up on the camera,
right?
And so nothing would happen. And
right.
So I think when we see things from Nintendo, they're very They're very good at creating new concepts. They're innovative.
Yeah.
Thank you. They're innovative. They're very good at innovating new tech. Even if we see it first, like with the Nintendo the Nintendo nunchucks, you look at it and you go, oh, it's so gimmicky. It doesn't work very well, but obviously it worked well enough for PlayStation and Xbox to copy it. So motion controls became a thing for a while.
Yep.
It may not be there still, or it may not be there as much as it used to be.
It seemed to have a few years of life, but it's not a big thing.
It just didn't seem like really were able to capitalize a lot on it. But I think with the kind of the addition of VR, matching motion controls with VR has been a good match.
Yeah.
Because a lot of systems that have the VR also incorporate motion controls in it.
Right.
So it's a good combination of technology that we probably wouldn't have had if it weren't for Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But speaking of Nintendo... We have just as Nintendo is doing stuff. So Nintendo is expected to release at least one new iteration of the Nintendo Switch in 2019, according to a Wall Street Journal report from October 2018. Now, I just got my Nintendo Switch, so none of this news makes me happy.
It's probably not going to make a lot of people happy.
I'll be honest with you. I literally just got it. I am loving the system. I think it's very fun. It works very good, whether it's portable or as a home console. It's a great system. I am having a great time with it.
He's a fan.
I am a fan. That being said, I am upset with some of the things I would say. Like, literally, I bought it, and then a month later it was like, oh, they're coming out with something new. I'm like, God damn it. Son of a bitch. But anyway, I'm happy for you guys, fuckers. But you fuckers. But that didn't get picked up. Which is good because I want to be sponsored by Nintendo. I love you, Nintendo. The report cites. Sorry. The report cites suppliers and others with direct knowledge of Nintendo's plans. Nintendo didn't comment on the report at the time, nor has it directly acknowledged work on a new version of the Switch. So, unlike Sony and Microsoft, they are being very hush hush.
Yeah.
on their stuff, and I think it's on par with how Nintendo usually is. They try to keep a lot of things close to the chest, and they want to unveil it when they're ready to unveil it.
Yeah.
So with that, like we read with Xbox and PlayStation, all the specs are out there.
Yeah.
Everything. They never confirmed it, but here are all the specs of something that we could be working on. Nintendo's like, listen, you have rumors. We're not even going to acknowledge them.
Yeah.
But what about the specs? Specs on what? We're not even acknowledging that we're working on anything. All right, guys. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Get out of our office. The report noted that the specifics of the new version of the Switch were still in flux at the time. Again, nothing concrete. The last two were quote unquote rumors, but with a lot of technical information in there. Mm. This one, pretty much rumors.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Nintendo is hush hush on everything.
Zipped up about it.
They are very zipped up. But they're also saying perhaps it would have a larger. What people are expecting is that it could potentially have a larger battery, or a better screen, or attached Joy-Con controllers, or all three, or none. So nobody knows anything.
Yeah.
Because right now the biggest complaint now is the Nintendo Switch's battery life on portable mode. Mm-hmm. It's got, I think, 4 to 5 hours of battery life on portable, and that's depending on the game you're playing. If you're playing a very high-end game like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, it cuts it down severely.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the type of game you're playing, and that's the biggest complaint Nintendo owners have faced. I haven't seen it. I don't play it a lot in portable mode. I play it at lunchtime at work, and I play it a little bit at home for maybe a couple hours at a time, and I haven't seen much of an issue. Mm-hmm. But again, I don't play it a lot that way. But that is the biggest complaint that I've heard about Nintendo, about people having the Switch, which is not really that big of a complaint. I actually think it's, if that's your complaint, it's pretty well received console.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wish the battery was bigger. Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah.
Next. But anyway, analyst Sirkin Toto predicted in January that the release of the new version of Switch, which he also expects to arrive this year, will lower the price of the existing Switch, which that's the part that was like, God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe even a light version of the Switch will arrive alongside the new version. Which, again, we've seen that with PlayStation Slim, where it's PlayStation 3, but it's just a smaller version. It was less money. I think the biggest problem with that one was that it overheated a lot because of how small it was.
Yeah.
So not really as well made. So, which we see a lot with slimmer consoles. They tend to overheat. So maybe the light, probably not the best way to go, considering with every light or slim console, the overheating issue is always there. So yeah. I don't want to be playing something on the go and it overheating. And,
right.
God knows what else happens to it. I don't need a Samsung situation where shit's exploding. Just joking, Samsung, sponsor us. I posed for some reason.
Yeah, you did like the 2-finger peace sign like
I was like,
people overseas do.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was a Japanese girl for a second.
You really were. You really were. You even did the little shoulder thing.
I did. Yeah. I did do the shoulder thing. I am a Japanese girl. Konnichiwa. Anyway,
Wow.
Jesus Christ. I am fucking losing it. Where am I? Okay.
Oh, no.
Another quote. I also think Nintendo will offer a Switch Lite, which is what he said, or just keep the current version at a lower price to cover the lower end of the spectrum and offering sinking 3DS sales. He told GameIndustry.biz. This was Sir Toto. Now, so yeah, apparently the 3DS isn't selling as well as it used to. So I think they're going to try to get their money back with lowering the price of the Switch.
Gotcha.
Eventually, and that'll get more people to buy it because right now it's a $300 system.
Yeah.
So if they lower that price, more people are guaranteed to buy it who don't own it yet.
Yeah.
And it'll be, just the fact that you can play it at home and on the go is such a huge selling point for me.
Yeah.
But, that's just me. But in March, rumors pointed to Nintendo working on 2 new versions of the Switch, a dedicated handheld model, and a more powerful home version. Again,
Okay.
which I feel like is kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like you already have something that's on the go and at home.
Yeah, you have something that does both. But again,
If you're making something more at home, isn't the Switch becoming a console now?
yeah, which it technically is.
Yeah, but it would be not a mobile console.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. But I think that's their plan, though, is to have, if you're going to have a home console, this one's not portable, but here's a portable version of this console.
So basically, buy both of them if you want. That seems.
That's what I mean. I feel like that's backwards.
Yeah, I think
Because it's
so,
like,
too.
oh, we have a handheld and a console. What if we
Right.
combine them and make a handheld console?
Yeah.
All right. So we made a handheld. We cut the middleman. We jumped ahead. We made a handheld console. Now what? Ooh, let's make a handheld version and a console version. No, that's working
Nope.
backwards. No. We already made the system that we were going to make to fix that problem.
Yeah.
Why would we cause a problem?
Yeah, right.
Because that's what I feel like. But with the dedicated on-the-go system, there's your larger battery life that people are always complaining about. Because I'm sure if they have a dedicated handheld console, they're going to make sure that battery life is solid.
You hope so.
You hope so. Exactly. Yeah, you hope so. But I just don't think it's necessary.
No, I don't either.
Because you already have the best of both worlds with the Switch.
Really,
Why
yeah.
ruin it? But I don't know. One is said to be more powerful version of the current console with enhanced features targeted at avid video gamers, according to a Wall Street Journal report. Despite the reported horsepower increase, this new Switch version is said to still lag behind Sony's PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X console. So you're not buying the home Nintendo console for power.
Right.
Because
So why would you buy it?
exactly. There's no reason for it.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, there's just no reason for it. The other version of the Switch, which was previously rumored, is said to be a portable focus device. Nintendo didn't respond to a request for comment on the report. Again, because they ain't talking.
Deny.
Deny. Which sometimes when you deny that much, aren't you technically admitting it? Yeah. But hey, that's just me. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. Nintendo could reveal the new console as soon as this June at the annual E3 video games show. So we'll see. I am hoping for different Nintendo news, i.e. Animal Crossing, please. But sure, if you want to make a new console, whatever. I want fucking Animal Crossing, god damn it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Make it for him. Gosh, he's hostile.
Make it for me, even though it's not really a real game. Shut up. I enjoy it. I have fun. Let people enjoy things. But 2 reports in April, one from Nikkei, I don't know, and another from Bloomberg, point to a change in Nintendo's plans. Uh-oh. One, I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
We don't know if this is real
Yeah.
news, but
I haven't read this. I should have. One new version of Switch focused on portability could arrive this year. And the second, more
it's only
powerful
April.
device is either delayed or outright canceled in favor of a revision to the existing Switch, which I would be happy with that. If you put some new updates out to increase something into the Switch, or make like an Xbox One X, a Switch One X, or whatever the fuck version of Nintendo you want to make, and do that,
Right.
whatever. But the Nikkei, I don't know, Nikkei, I don't know, pronounce it how you want. Report says that Nintendo will release a smaller, less expensive portable folks Nintendo Switch this fall. So yeah, the line that lines up with previous rumors about Nintendo Switch hardware iteration. So again, Nintendo ain't saying shit.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
They're
The latter,
super quiet.
Yeah, they're very quiet. And the latter device is reportedly delayed, according to Nikkei, which cites developer challenges. So, Bloomberg, however, says that the more portable version of the Switch could arrive as soon as this June, and that the more powerful Switch will just be an update to the existing hardware rather than a design revision, which I would rather. So, from both sources, they think that we're going to get a more portable version of Switch this year. So, but again, here's the caveat: Nintendo isn't commenting on either. So, grain of salt. Take all this with a grain of salt.
May or may not be true.
Yeah. But here's probably the most interesting thing that will tie Nintendo with Xbox even further.
Okay.
Where, so though it's not dependent on new hardware from Nintendo, it looks like Microsoft's Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass services headed to the Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
So yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, you sound super excited about that information.
Because I don't play any of this, so I'm trusting that people who listen to us will be really riveted.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody will be excited.
To me, I'm just like,
cool.
I don't know. This is how you were about our swag last week. Yeah, great.
Yeah, we got shirts
Awesome.
up. Cool.
Check it out.
Buy our stuff. Whatever.
Sorry, everyone. I don't play any of the stuff or know anything about it. So
yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
I just like the busty chaps.
I know.
But the former was confirmed by Xbox. The Xbox Live was confirmed by Xbox itself, with which discussed the upcoming functionality. Jesus Christ, functionality in a panel at the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco this past March. The latter, the Xbox Game Pass, is still a rumor, though multiple sources have reported it. So we'll see what happens. The Xbox Live brings all the benefits of Microsoft-rich online services like matchmaking, friends lists, messages, and more. There's already a form of Xbox Live on the Nintendo Switch, cross-play gaming. So right now, certain games like Fortnite and stuff like that, you can play with people on Xbox from your Nintendo. So that's which is a big deal for gaming. Yeah, it's a big deal
especially if you like playing online.
Yeah, especially if you like playing online, and it kind of prevents people from being pressured into buying a new system.
Right.
Because I want to play with my friend, but I don't want to buy an Xbox. I already have a Nintendo. Oh, I can play with my Nintendo and he can play with his Xbox? Perfect.
Yep.
We can still play together. So that's great news. Xbox Game Pass is a Netflix-style game library that includes everything Microsoft publishes and a variety of third-party content. The long and short of this, Xbox Game Pass would bring Xbox One games to the Nintendo Switch, which is unheard of for one system's games to be on another system.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Craziness.
Is there a buyout that we don't know about?
Yeah, right. I think Nintendo will be buying Microsoft at this point. Likely via Microsoft Project xCloud game streaming services, the Nintendo Switch can't power Xbox One games by itself. So you'll be using the cloud for that.
Right.
Because, it's not powerful enough to take in those kinds of games. But otherwise, some interesting news.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. A lot of rumors, mostly from Nintendo, because, again, they ain't saying shit.
Yeah.
Those guys are hush-hush on everything.
I know.
Those guys will bury you in the desert.
And no one will find you.
And no one will find you. All they'll find is a red hat with an M on it. There's your Mario reference.
Oh, okay. Nicely done.
Jeez, Heidi.
Sorry, I'm not a real gamer.
Clearly. Or how about this? There'll be an unmarked grave with one of those stupid green Sims diamond things over it. How's that?
Oh.
How's that, Heidi?
That makes more sense to me.
There you go. Now I'm speaking your language.
Yes, Sim language. So...
that language,
it's like a bunch of gibberish.
It's all gibberish.
Simlish,
yeah, whatever though.
So, you know that I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and lots of different stories keep coming up, and it's kind of frustrating, and I have not really known how to approach it without really turning people off, and this may still turn people off, but if it does, then you just don't have a soul. Sorry.
All right.
If you turn...
Let's alienate people right away. Let's do it
from the start. So we've talked about on our podcast at different times the attacks on females when it comes to everything from gaming to acting, and it's not really just females, it's minorities, but I'm gonna stick with females because I'm a female and that's the only thing I know.
Right.
So with that, I was looking up a lot of the different things that have happened in the geek world, and I just want to read a little bit of what I wrote down because it was really hard to get my head around it. I wrote this: We have a lot of issues in this country, some of which we have very little power over, said for our vote. One thing we absolutely have power over is our actions and how the atmosphere of America moves forward, not backwards. There's been a trend, I can only speak for America, where I live and have felt it, but a trend that may have far-reaching consequences. I wanted to quote statistics about how women are treated in America and around the world, but the information was really soul-crushing and heartbreaking that I really couldn't bring myself to say it out loud, and put it on the podcast. I, as a nerdy woman, felt like the geek culture was a safe place to be, but I couldn't be more wrong. I'm not saying that all men fit in this category, because clearly you don't and Lou doesn't, but enough to make women feel less than, and not enough of the good men say anything to help. I'm disgusted with the attacks on women by men, but women are not getting a free pass because there are women who do the same thing. So one of the things, and we've talked about the comments about Brie Larson and the lies that were said about her movie.
Yeah.
But one of the things I'm very frustrated with is, and we've talked it on this podcast several times, how people do not do their research.
Right.
They don't listen to the whole story. They don't try to verify. They just they take a little bit that fits their narrative and their anger button. Oh, that ticked my anger button. Now I'm mad. I'm gonna go out and be a keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
And so nobody moves forward. Nobody actually looks into what people are saying. One of the things I found just really appalling, and I'm gonna kind of go back to women on this, is there are women gamers that do like online streaming, and they're playing online with other people.
Yeah.
And a lot of times there'll be a bunch of guys and there'll be like 2, maybe 3 girls. And 2 of the girls at least will start in a very gladiator kind of way, just ripping each other apart for the entertainment of these guys. And I'm listening to what they're saying to each other, and it's horrible. Like, they're horrible to each other.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, how can women expect men to respect them if we can't even respect each other?
Yeah.
So I looked up different things, the Brie Larson thing, that people don't listen to the whole speech before they get their claws out into their keyboard, the women that tear each other apart on video, and I really just want to say, stop doing that. You make us look really bad. The attacks on the female Ghostbusters was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was much.
And the whole "you're ruining my childhood." Look, you sad, pathetic snowflake of a person. If there's no form of entertainment. No, and I'm talking from somebody who's had some really bad Dirty Dancing movies come out. Okay?
Havana Nights? You didn't like Havana Nights? It was my favorite one.
None of those movies have ever ruined my childhood.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of these oversensitive people. You don't even understand what a ruined childhood is if you're talking about a movie ruining your childhood. Get over yourself.
And it comes from, like I said, it comes from both sides.
Yes.
But it's like, I completely agree with you, because I am every time I see a remake, I get so annoyed by the remake, not because it's a remake, but because I am already hearing the comments
that are coming from all these
of
keyboard warriors.
Oh my God, I can already hear these people.
You're ruining my childhood.
Like, who cares? Who cares if they remade a movie? Do you have the originals? Go back and watch those.
Yes.
Like, stop
They're
it.
still there. They didn't dissolve.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they didn't get absolved by the new movies.
Like, what is happening?
Like a weird symbiote, just like, I need your power.
Yeah.
The new female Ghostbusters movie didn't eat the last 2 Ghostbusters movies, and now they no longer exist.
Yeah.
You can go back and still watch those movies.
People just need to
knock it off.
I hate it ruined my childhood. Like, I hate that's how we've always done it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hate those comments. They're such ignorant comments.
The one is very, it's about me.
Yep.
And the other one is very lazy. Like, I don't want to do anything about it. We've always done it this way.
Why do we have to change?
Great. Yeah. It's like, well, great. I'm glad we've always done it this way. I'm glad that works out for you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work out for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, but it's how we've always done it.
It's utterly frustrating. But I'll tell you,
It's
what
just aggravating.
actually was so incredibly despicable for me is I didn't know anything about Gamergate.
To be fair, I knew a little bit, but not enough, which is why I didn't pick a side or I didn't follow it, because I was like, there's too many stories happening with this. I'm just going to not deal with it.
So just to break it down for people who may not be familiar with Gamergate, this woman named Zoe Quinn, she was a game developer. She came up with a game called Depression Quest.
Yeah, she was an indie game developer.
It was an indie game.
Yeah.
And she had dated this guy previous to this game.
Yeah.
And they broke up, and allegedly, according to her ex, she cheated on him.
With several people.
In his opinion, it was to go up the ladder of game in the gaming world or something.
Sure.
Which she was still an indie person.
Yeah, she's an indie developer. And it wasn't like her game got developed by a major company.
No.
Like, oh, she only did it to get good reviews. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's
so basically after she moved on and he decided to be a pathetic, worthless piece of human trash and a bitter individual, he decided to basically annihilate her character on the internet.
Yeah.
And in the gaming world.
Disgustingly so.
Yeah. I mean, nude pictures. He started talking about her private parts. It was vile, vile. And there is a thing called revenge porn where people... I haven't seen it happen with women doing it, but that it's possible that they do. It's mostly I've seen men do it, where if they take a nude picture of their girlfriend and then they break up, they'll post it.
Oh, okay.
So everybody can see it.
Which is a shitty thing.
It's such a shitty thing. It's like you are a sad, pathetic man.
Yeah. Like, I understand you want to write a blog about how she cheated on you. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to talk about her genitalia.
Yeah.
You have to post nude photos of her. What the fuck is wrong with you?
And talk about her sex life that you don't know anything about.
Yeah. Like, all right, she cheated on you. That sucks.
Yeah.
You know, sorry that happened.
Get over it.
But like I said, you want to write a blog talking about that? Cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't talk about her genitalia and her sex life that you know nothing about and post private nude photos of her. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a shit thing to do to somebody.
She received just I can't even fathom the enormity of abuse that she received online.
Vile stuff.
I mean, I will read a couple, but she had to leave her home because he posted her address and her phone number.
Yeah, that's right. She was, what they call it is being doxxed, where they'll find, sometimes it happens to streamers, where they'll find your information and they'll put your phone number, your address, sometimes your social security number.
Yep.
Like, they find all this information and they put it on the internet. That way that person can be harassed. And it's a fucking shitty thing to do.
Yeah, and there should be a law against it. And
there really should. I completely agree.
And I think that laws are, well, in this country, laws are really not being talked about at all. But technology, with the way it advances, the laws are not advancing fast enough with it.
Right. Yeah. They need to advance as fast as technology is.
And there have been some movement in the revenge porn thing and stuff like that. But this woman just was abused online. I mean, abused.
Yeah. I think cyberbullying is like just being talked about in a serious manner. Like, I don't know. It's just...
And even people... So I was hopeful that there would be some people that would stick up for her, but they mostly said things like this. The more you try to attack her directly, the more she gets to play the victim card and makes a bunch of friends who will support her because she has a vagina. Any attack on misogyny, one of them reasons. No. Here's the thing. Anybody who attacks anybody for any reason that is not, I mean, I'm going to say any reason, because if you know somebody is a horrible person and does illegal things, then go to the police.
Yeah.
Because if you just go online and badmouth them, guess what? You're just a coward.
Yeah.
Do something real about it. But you should not go online and abuse people like that. And I'm sick and tired of, if I stick up for a woman, it's like, oh, you girls are sticking together. First of all, I'm not a fucking girl, okay? I'm a woman. And yeah, I'm going to back up women because guess what? You're not doing it. Yeah. You know?
But you also get it from men too, because if men stick up for women, they get the whole, you're only doing it because you want to bang her.
Yeah.
Like, no, what if I'm doing it because I'm a fucking reasonable human being?
Yeah, that treats somebody like a human being, another person like a human being, no matter what gender they are.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you? I have to have a reason to like stick up for somebody?
Yeah, that makes no sense at all. So basically, there was a change in all of these vile people when they tried to turn it around and said, "Oh, all of this stuff that's being said about her is not true. We need to have journalistic integrity."
That's the majority of stuff that I heard.
But they twisted it, and it wasn't.
Yeah, it came from a place of I want to say ugliness, but because it wasn't the initial reason for Gamergate.
No, it turned into that because they realized, I think, that it was getting really ugly and they had to change the ties. So things like this were said. This was a conversation, a 4chan message board conversation. Things like, I don't care, I could care less about Vidya. I just want to see Zoe receive her comeuppance. Another person said, another conversation was, I kind of want to just make her life irreparably horrible. And then somebody replied with, but what if she suicides? And then their reply was good.
What's the point?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It feels to me like every nerdy guy, or maybe not even nerdy guy, every gamer who had a woman break his heart takes all his anger out on her. And they don't even know if what this other jackass that she dated said was true.
Yeah.
They just jumped on the guy wagon. So, you believe a guy because what? You're a guy? You could say the same thing about women sticking up for women. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous what was done to her and how she was treated and things that were said.
It was funny too because during my little bit of research on this subject, the article you sent me, I actually found out that the hashtag Gamergate was actually coined by Adam Baldwin.
Oh yeah,
yeah, which kind of upsets me a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't think he said. I think he was the way he said it was. I can bring it up because the way I read it, it kind of sounded. I've got the site up here that I actually read a lot of this from. It was really just disgusting. I couldn't believe this woman went through all of this and nobody did anything. I can't bring it up, but I think he brought it up in not a negative way.
Maybe not, but I mean, I've heard stories of him, and he's kind of a douchebag apparently, and it was very disappointing to me. I remember hearing this.
It says he brought it up in widespread reputation of the term gamer and the scummy layer of misogyny it had picked up.
Maybe.
So it sounded to me like he did it for a good reason, but maybe I misunderstood.
He might have.
But so I've actually come across a few things. Well, just wrapping up the Gamergate thing. These types of things happen to women a lot in the gaming community. You and I have talked about female gamers who were attacked and pushed into, sort of pressured into, constantly being asked, oh, shush your boobs and all this stuff. And it's like, she just wants to play the video game. Can you just not do that? And it always goes back to, God, what's wrong with you? And I just want to say, would you say this to your mother, your sister? Is this the way you would talk to them?
Yeah.
Is this the way you would want people talking to them? Maybe you would, because maybe you wouldn't care because you're a scumbag. But most men who have any respect for their sisters, aunts, grandmothers, or mothers do not want people talking to them that way.
Yeah.
And so why do they think they have a license to talk that way? There's actually been a guy who went through the one of the StarArs movies and deliberately made a lot of scenes where women were more pathetic because he thought that it needed to focus more on
the male characters.
Yeah, he said
what?
It says some dude had recut Star Wars, The Last Jedi, sorry, to adhere more closely to an incredibly sexist version of the franchise. And here are some of the changes. Now, I'm not going to know some of these, but you've seen them, so maybe you'll.
I've seen the movie, so I might know what you do.
Rey is enthusiastically trained by Luke, but isn't as strong as before. She's weaker.
Okay.
Kylo Ren straight up kills his mother in the few first minutes of the movie.
In my opinion, that's what should have happened anyway. Because, especially knowing that Carrie Fisher died, and that was her last real movie, I feel like in the way that scene took place, I feel like her actually dying would have been better for the movie, in my opinion. Okay. Because what they did was so lame. Like, the ship blows up and she's floating in space and she puts her arm out and she floats herself back to a ship. It's just like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, that's weird.
She Mary Poppined herself back into a ship. And it was just like,
okay, that's not...
It was, so that makes sense.
Okay.
I would do that. The first one is stupid. Because everybody had a fucking complaint that, Rey is too strong. Shut up! Sorry.
It says Snoke
Snoke.
isn't killed, but rather disappears with a laugh just before Ren manages to slice him in two.
I would have preferred that.
A very basic, very sad attempt to fade him out seems like, an attempt at photoshopping. And perhaps the funniest movie scene of 2008 so far, Luke is unceremoniously killed with the very first laser blast on the Salt Planet.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
Because that guy clearly didn't watch that movie, if that's the case.
Yeah.
That scene was amazingly shot. I thought it was beautifully shot, the way they did it, where the salt on the ground, it was white salt, but when the salt is pushed away, it shows the red ground. And there were, from ships flying around, the salt was moved away. Mm-hmm. So Kylo Ren sees Luke Skywalker standing there. So when he goes down to fight him, if you're actually paying attention to the scene, you will notice that Luke Skywalker doesn't step on any salt. He steps on the red, which is where the salt was already pushed away. So he's not pushing away any more salt. And when you realize that he's not actually there, he's just a vision through the Force. It blew my mind going, oh my God, he never made
Hopefully there's no spoilers in that.
It's been a year.
Okay, yeah.
It's been 2 years.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it, the last one is coming out this year. I'm sorry for the spoilers, but get on it, okay? I'm very sorry.
So
anyway, that scene was beautifully shot.
Yeah.
But it's also unfair that one of the actresses from that movie was to your point, horribly harassed.
Yeah.
Online, to where she had to.
That Asian girl?
Yeah. Last Jedi. This will be cut because of the silence. Okay. Kelly Marie Tran played Rose Tycho, whatever. She people hated that character. She was
I don't understand why.
She was an unnecessary character. She didn't do a lot.
Yeah.
But the amount of hatred she got was unnecessary. Yeah. It was really fucking unnecessary. Especially what the actress got on Twitter. I was like, all right, I didn't care for the character either. But it wasn't like, I'm not going to send her shitty tweets online. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You can not like a character and still be fine with the actress. Like, I thought The Last Jedi was an okay movie. There was a big section of that movie that was unnecessary, in my opinion. The whole casino scene.
Lots of movies do that.
Yeah, but there was like 20 minutes of that movie that could have been cut.
Oh, okay.
Which was the entire casino scene,
right.
The casino sequence. Wasn't needed. And I don't know. It wasn't a perfect movie,
one of the changes here was about her.
Of course it was.
It says... and naturally, episode 5, 6, 7, 8. Was it episode 3? 8. I don't know. It's a 5 and then 1, 1, 1. And I thought 5. Never mind. Anyways, pilot Rose Tycho, Kelly Marie Tran, is almost completely removed in favor of making Finn even more boring and clueless, which seems like a neat metaphor for an entire endeavor.
That is funny. That is ironic that he was like, we need more man.
Yeah.
And although without this woman character there, the man looks like an idiot.
And
so,
then it says...
Good job doing that.
It says there's absolutely no hint of Laura Dern's character.
Really?
Admiral Holdo, meaning Poe Dameron, whatever, is hastily edited into her position just before killing himself for no reason but ramming the cruiser at land speed into Snork's ship. I don't know.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There were so many scenes in that movie that I liked that for me were cinematically and visually amazing. That I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people. I'm not going to talk about it because this talk about nerdy women's rights are going to be completely overshadowed by my Star Wars talk, and it doesn't need to happen.
The other thing...
It's just... some of those characters got a lot of hatred that were unnecessary.
Yes.
Especially, specifically Laura Dern and God, I hate not knowing her name.
Oh, Marie...
Tran?
Yeah.
Marie Tran?
Yeah, Kelly
Marie Tran, yeah. The amount of hatred that those two actresses got for their roles in the movie are completely unjustified. Were they great characters? Not really. I think Laura Dern's character was I liked her character better. I think she was more important to the story than Kelly Marie Tran's character. Mm-hmm. But I didn't fucking hate her. I wasn't like, oh, fuck this Asian bitch. I'm going to go on Twitter and hope she kills herself.
Yeah.
I was like, that character was unnecessary. And I left it at that.
Because you're a logical person. You're not a psychopath.
Yeah.
It seems like more and more people in this world are psychopaths that just... I
That's true.
mean, even on TikTok, you've got people telling people you're fat, you should kill yourself.
Yeah, which is just
It's
shitty.
like, what are you talking about?
Whatever happened to that old saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah, exactly. So the last thing I wanted to say about this is that I hear a lot from good men and douchey bag men. I hear this a lot. I hear that I don't even know how to even talk to women anymore because of Me Too and Time's Up and all this stuff. And it's like,
well, I've never known how to talk to women, but that's me.
well,
it wasn't a Me Too movement thing. It was, I'm a nerd. I don't know how to.
yeah,
that was my problem.
But see, that's different.
I know.
If you're just socially awkward with, that's different. But
the whole, I know what you're talking about because I've heard things of like, well, I don't know what to say to her. I don't want to like say something and be it perceived as, me trying to rape her. It's like, well, firstly, what are you saying?
yeah. What are you gonna
I guess I kind of know what you mean. I guess. Like, what are you saying? What are you saying that would be perceived as
rape?
As rape or like misogyny or whatever? Like,
yeah.
What exactly are you saying? Like, are you going for the traditional pickup lines? Like, hey, was your one of my favorites? Hey, was your father a burglar? Because it looks like he stole some hams and put them up the back of your dress or some shit. I don't know.
This is why Tim can't talk to women.
This is the reason.
This is my response to men talking to women is you talk to them as you would talk to men or to anybody else because women are people.
Hey.
Both men or women are people.
Right.
And if you find that you speak differently to men than you do women are not the issue.
Right. There's a bigger problem.
Yeah. And the other thing is,
if your first few words are, hey, what's up, sweet cheeks? Go away.
you're
Turn
the
around
problem.
and walk up. I don't know what her problem was. I called her sweet cheeks. Those are good words. Go away.
Go away.
Just leave. I don't.
Drag your.
Yeah, drag your knuckles back to the other side of the room, please. You Neanderthalic monster.
But people also need to understand if you are communicating something across to somebody, it's your responsibility that it lands on that person as the listener. It's not their responsibility to determine what you're saying.
I 100% agree.
If you are talking to somebody, you need to make sure that your intentions are conveyed in what you say. Yeah. And I think people nowadays, they just like vomit words out of their mouth and then
expect the other person to know what they mean.
Yeah. Not only to know what they mean, but not to be held accountable for anything. Yeah. It's kind of like, no.
Yeah.
That's not how the rule works.
When it comes to text-based conversation, because it happens to me, I always take things the wrong way. But that's how...
I know you do.
But that's how I'm reading it.
He always takes my text messages like I'm angry.
Like I'm
hostile.
attacking me.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to find some. But some that are legitimate, fine texts that I take as, whoa,
I find that I have to put a lot of emojis now because that way he's it's a smiley emoji.
But when you're verbally talking to somebody, there's the tone of your voice.
Yeah.
There's how you where like certain sarcasm or whatever comes in. There's stuff like that.
Nuances that come into play.
Yeah. Where when someone says, oh, okay, I know he's joking, or I know that's sarcasm, or I know he's being serious, or I know he wants to rape me. There's those things.
You can see those things.
You can see those things coming up. But when you're verbally talking to somebody, there's no excuse for not being able to put your point across.
Yeah.
If there's still a question on what you mean, that, like you said, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you not putting it out, putting the information out there in a way that is easily kind of consumed.
Yeah, and I will tell you, I have been around for a while, and I have been around truckers and military personnel and everybody in between, and they are all kinds of colorful people in every facet of my life. And never can I remember in a general conversation with somebody did I ever feel like they were going to rape me or that I took something they said like they were going to assault me.
Yeah.
In just a conversation with somebody talking to me. So that doesn't really hold up. And again, if you are concerned about if you're concerned about talking to women and how they're going to take it, then you need to really evaluate how you speak to women. Like, what are you saying to them that you are concerned about? Because there are going to be women out there, sorry to say, that are going to lie and jump to conclusions and make people look bad. And I will be the first to defend the men that I think do that, i.e. Chris Hardwick.
Oh, yeah, that moment.
But that's not as often as the opposite. And we still have a huge problem in our culture in America of how women are treated and how they're looked at. But my biggest concern is not the whole entire America. It's the geek culture, which I've, again, felt like was a safe place for me as a woman to be in, but it's not. And that's what kind of really breaks my heart. That people who are marginalized a lot of the time because of the things they love, video games, comic books, and, you know, they're just made to feel insignificant because they're nerds or geeks, that they would turn the tables and abuse somebody else who loves the same things. Yeah. So I really want to start a movement. I don't know how I'm going to do it, and I don't know if it would be successful, but I'm going to make sure. There's one thing, I did watch this video, and it was about the two women who were tearing each other apart in a video game. Oh, yeah. And this woman said, you know, it always hurts my heart when I hear a woman say that she hates hanging around other women. And I've said that so many times. Yeah. I have talked about this. Yeah, I've really said that a lot. And I started thinking about it. And the reason why I say it is because most women and I don't have a lot in common. You know, I'm not super, super girly. I do like to get glammed up every once in a while, but my priorities are not makeup. I mean, doing my hair. I mean, right now, maybe once I graduate and I actually have a job that I work in an office, but right now I work in a manufacturing plant. My hair goes up in a bun. Yeah. I wear very, very minimal makeup. It's usually just powder, and that's it. That's me rolling in to work. So I don't have a whole lot in common. I'm not into the Housewives movies or shows or the Kardashians or any reality TV. So it's really geeky females that I would bond with, and I think I scare them. So maybe. I don't really find too many friends that are geeky. You are fairly intimidating. I do have that about me. So I just, you know, everybody, when you are reading about something or somebody tells you, hey, did you hear what so-and-so said? Just look into it before you start tearing people apart, because you're going to look like an ass. Most of the time, people don't have the full story, and they're not telling you not even the full story, but sometimes they're going to tell you their version of it. And if you just believe it, then you're an idiot. Yeah. Basically. And that's it. We probably should have started on this because I totally brought our podcast to a total downer. It's like, well, at least people got some game news. Yeah. You got some game news, and then they're going to turn me off at like 1 hour, 10 minutes. About. Yeah. Thanks for your support, Tim. Hey, no problem. That's what I'm here for. Good job. Anyways, so yeah, is that all we got? That's it? Yeah, that's all I had. Okay. All right. So as usual, thank you for listening, and you can find our podcast on our website, that was free, right? Geek-lish.com, and you can find our episodes there. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. We're at geek_lish, and we're on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and Blueberry. Check out our, I just realized that I did not add the links to our website onto the Geek-lish page. I got to do that tomorrow. Yeah, let's do that. So you can find them tomorrow. And stay tuned. Next, we're going to have a special episode, and we're going to be talking about Endgame. So, spoiler, if you have not seen the movie, do not listen to the episode. Do not listen to it. Yes, this is a spoiler-filled episode. Yeah, it's going to be epically spoiler. Yeah, we are literally just going to talk about the experience. We're going to talk about our favorite scenes. Yeah. Please, if you've watched the movie, please listen. If you haven't watched the movie, go watch it and then come back and listen. Yeah, don't listen to it, because I'm telling you right now, we're telling you it's a spoiler. We're gonna put spoilers all over the title of the episode. Yeah. So if you listen to it, it's on you. Yes. So please don't be like, oh, spoilers. We literally said spoilers. I told you so many times. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. All right, stay nerdy. Bye. 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 I think we're gonna say it.